Good morning, or whatever time it is for you. It is May 16th. It's a Thursday morning. I'm just taking a quick minute out of work to be able to do this because I was getting an early start with work, so kind of just replacing some of the time. But yeah, gonna be doing some interview rounds at work today, which is exciting. I have not yet done that in the almost 4 years I've been here. So I'm a little out of practice. I did interviewing for like 8 years straight. A startup I was at before Microsoft. And since I've been at Microsoft, I just have not done it. I've never been scheduled to be on an interview panel, or I guess we call them like an interview loop. So yeah, I'll be doing that today. I'm nervous only because like I haven't used like the tools and stuff. So otherwise, like I'm totally confident like doing interviewing and stuff. And I personally try to make sure like my goal is to make candidates comfortable because I think that it's really silly if you're conducting an interview and like the whole goal is to be like gatekeeping about the role. Like I feel like my job is to try and get the candidate to be able to showcase as much value as they possibly can, right? So that's what I strive for. We'll see how that goes, but that's going to be a big chunk of my afternoon today. So kind of derailing a lot of my normal stuff, like to move some one-on-ones and things like that. And number one, I don't like moving one-on-ones in the first place, but some of them I had to cancel just because I just will not have enough time at the remainder of this week between today and tomorrow, which is really unfortunate. I really hate doing that. So, um, some of them I have moved to tomorrow, and others I just don't have the capacity to physically do it. And then if I move them to next week, it's like kind of this weird situation where they're going to do a one-on-one up for this one and then like a day or two later do another. So I'm just kind of trying to do asynchronous one-on-ones with people saying like, hey, like here's some things that I wanted to go through. What do you got? This is a super rare occasion for me. So one of the big challenges is I thought we had, well, I won't explain this part. I made some assumptions about the interview process that aren't true. That's my fault. But yeah, that's some work stuff. Side project, getting a lot of momentum right now, which is cool. Like on the technical side of things, it went from being like feeling very roadblock to um, lot of awesome wins very fast. So feeling good about that. Um, we got to glue a lot of pieces together. Um, and then I think once we have some of these pieces glued together. Oh my goodness, sorry. Once we have some of these pieces glued together, I think we'll be able to have several instances of what we're building sort of production ready and kind of demonstrating the purpose. So yeah, that's cool. I'm just really pumped about that and kind of working with the same group of guys is awesome. And yeah, just I think between the group of us there is momentum, which I'd like to see. It's I like with these types of things, I know everyone's busy, everyone's got lives, families, of course. So um, it's really just about when people have the time and they can contribute and they're excited to do it. Like that makes me excited. But obviously things come up and that's totally cool. So um, yeah, I'm again not ready to share details on that quite yet. I'm not trying to be like secretive on purpose. I just want to see it working. I have a high degree of confidence. Um, and not only it working, but it being something successful that could be sold and leveraged by people. So I feel good about the whole thing, but it's kind of like I don't want to I don't want to share all the details and then like have come across something that's not working. I'd like to see it working end to end, be in a point where I can start iterating and then start sharing it. So I will do that as it comes up. Okay, dev leader, content creation and stuff. I don't think I have too many big updates this week in particular, which is okay. This one can be pretty short, but I think mentioned like sponsorship stuff before, so it was just kind of nailing down some of the details around that. And for one of the sponsors and for the second sponsor, it's being structured like doing some pre-work before we consider like a formal sponsorship agreement. So I'm going to be my wife is traveling right now for her sister's wedding, so I'm going to be spending a bunch of time this week and trying to make some progress on that. Um, got my mic stuff finally figured out, just driver issues. I can't remember if I said that before. I kept thinking I had a solution, and the reality is, anytime I thought I had a solution, it just so happened that whatever the driver issue is, it was causing a reset in whatever that problem was and fixing it, but it was never consistent. Now I've updated the driver, which sounds like an obvious easy fix, but when your computer, like Windows, tells you there's no driver, you go to the manufacturer, they say there's no driver, and then you have to go to Reddit to find people with the same laptop because it's a laptop specific issue. They're saying, hey, like this is the driver I used. You go to the support site, it's not for your laptop, right? So it's a sort of super roundabout way, and I'm kind of risking, like, am I just going to make things worse by updating the driver? But anyway, seems to have fixed it completely, so it's a huge time saver. Um, I got a bunch of interviews to edit, which they're easy to edit. That's fine, but I've been very happy with kind of getting some momentum around that. I want to keep that up. I think I'm scheduling over a month out right now for interviews, which is cool. But and I should clarify that doesn't mean um I try to schedule up to two a week at this point. That doesn't mean that every single one of those weeks is doubled up. It's just that people are starting to take those slots that far out. So it's pretty cool. Conversations I've been really happy with. But yeah, I think I have three to edit right now. And like one just went out today. And I say today. Today is Thursday, right? So uh this video will hopefully be posted on a Saturday. Is kind of what I'm trying to do. But that means if I get the momentum that I'm hoping here, I can either keep a couple of interviews banked up, which is nice for me to have a bit of something to lean back on. But I'm having some of the, and this isn't a complaint or anything. I'm having some of the individuals already being like, "Hey, like, when can I see mine?" And I'm like, "You're 3 weeks out in terms of like posting schedule, and I'm not going to edit it that soon in advance. But what I might start to do is post two a week if I have them. So like maybe a minimum of one up to two per week. That would mean that content production for me since the start of the year, just on YouTube alone, would have quadrupled, which is very cool. I'm happy about that. Blog article writing is taking a huge hit. It's just very difficult to dedicate that much time to writing articles, unfortunately, because I want them to be valuable. And there's some that I can write. I'm not like I'm not tapping out on it necessarily. Like I think emotionally and mentally I'm tapping out on some of the really basic ones. Still valuable, I feel, for people because I've had feedback that people did enjoy them. But writing about very basic concepts versus just like kind of walking through and explaining them is a whole different ballgame. So um trying to do some different things. Now, what's kind of cool is with the side project stuff, um, there is a lot of inspiration for things to write articles about or videos about. So, for example, finally, I said on this project, I'm going to use Dapper because I always hand roll all of my own SQL stuff. And I kept trying to use Entity Framework, and I'm like, it's just not for me. I can't stand using it. It feels completely counterintuitive. Each their own. I know there's lots of people that love to use it. I'm like, it just isn't for me. And I tried Dapper out for the first time, and I went, yep, this is this is it. And it's because I write my own SQL, and then I end up, you know, having to write like kind of a lot of boilerplate code to read all the stuff into these data transfer objects. And Dapper just does that part for you very cleanly. So it just feels like the right thing for me. So I'm happy to use that now. But I haven't written about it because I've never used it before. So there's a couple of things like that. And so cool example, I was really pumped about this. There's a Andrew Locke who's an amazing .NET blogger. I feel like any content you read online that's like a .NET blog is like somehow originated from his content. Like he's just a amazing source of information. He has a strongly typed ID NuGet package or like a library, right? So when I started this side project, I said, started making my database schema, and I was like, I have all these long int64 identifiers, and I'm like, I want to use strongly typed IDs. And then Dapper stopped working immediately, and I was like, oh no. Andrew Locke has a blog on how to use them together, so I was like, oh yes. But the way that you do it, the way that you support it, is very counter to how I design software. And it's because you have to like explicitly go do all of this work where to me, I want to give you a good example. So for every unique identifier, I would have to go write a custom class that would go map that to Dapper. But this strongly typed ID, I don't want to exist in like a data layer. And I don't want to have to go remember to go write one of these things every single time for every single identifier I create. Like it's mayhem. It's mayhem. I would have so many extra classes doing the exact same thing. So I wrote some code that uses reflection that looks for strongly typed IDs and then basically will go map them to Dapper with a class. Then there was this really cool thing using some like really kind of like modern .NET techniques for like unsafe access. But I think the feature that I'm trying to use is not available until .NET 9. So I'm going to retry it there. But anyway, the point is like there's a lot of cool stuff that's not even specific to my side project in terms of the design, but just some things I was trying and going, hey, like this would be great to write about. This would make a cool video. So that's kind of some content inspiration. So I'm pumped about that. Otherwise, though, we're chugging along. I'm gonna start the outline for my next course this weekend, which should be good. I'm excited for that one. I think the next two, the stats that Nick Chapsis has, he was saying like they're not the most sought after, but they are two subjects that I love to talk about. So um I think that's okay. I'd like to make the content and the educational resources around the things that I'm into. And that means something to me. So I think it will help other people. It's not the most famous course ever. That's okay. I would like to have some bigger, more impactful courses as well, but I think these ones would be good. So start those soon. But otherwise, I think that's it. Things are going pretty good here. I On a non-work related thing, I'm probably gonna take a little bit of extra time on the side, catch up with a couple friends I've had since high school, play some video games and stuff because I haven't really been doing that. Kind of lose touch as you get older, right? And we live across the whole continent now, so probably pick up Diablo 4 again for a little bit, play some of this season. You know, I can use my walking pad, which is right behind me under the couch there. I just roll it out with this. I have a really cheap like stand up desk that kind of I can pop on top of it and just play some video games on the screen. So I'll probably do that and do my cardio at the same time, and that way I can get some cardio because I'm not going to the now that I've kind of dropped out of doing bodybuilding as regularly. Like I go to the gym only 3 times a week now instead of like 6 to 7. So I want to make sure that I'm still doing cardio though because I don't do any other physical activity, and so that's a good mix of I can socialize with my friends, I can relax, and I can do cardio. Like three birds with one stone. I'm all about efficiency. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for your support. I do appreciate it. I hope you find some of these insightful just for what's going on behind the scenes. And yeah, I have a lot of exciting stuff on the way, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with all of you. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your day and week, month, whatever you got going on. We'll see you next time. Take care.